W chat. What's that word, gang? What's that word? Y'all know we came to talk about it. Oh man! At first, see, when bro told me about it, I had to go look at it and watch it myself. I couldn't even watch all of it without me saying, "Oh yeah, I gotta go live now." Yeah, I was gonna wait till tomorrow, later on. You know, I said this gotta happen now. Why don't y'all boy just hang it up, man? Y'all boy know y'all cook, gang, but man, we gotta get into some of these reactions. Some of this stuff I seen in this right here. Like this is crazy. Man, y'all boys, they overcook y'all boys. They over I'm talking about they overcook you. They just overcook you. Yeah, you know how they say, dang, you know what? You don't think you left that in there too long? Yeah, yeah, they overcook. They overcook y'all boy. Hold on. I don't think it's gonna show. Hold on, okay? Hold on right quick. Hold on real quick, gang. Yeah, this is crazy work. Yeah, this is crazy work, gang. What's up, Elevated? I gotta elevate. Salute to that boy Elevated in the building. Salute to that boy Elevated. Salute to that boy Elevated. I gotta elevate. I gotta elevate. Salute that boy Elevated, man. Man, salute that boy Elevated. No cap. What you got going on, gang? Let me know what's that word that you heard on the curb. Yes, sir. We say savage. Yeah, we came to talk about the game for a minute. Y'all get the lights off for me. Hold on. Let me hold on. Hold on real quick. Alright, bet. I have been here, but that beach house was fire. Oh, for real? So you was over there enjoying? Okay, that boy was over there enjoying himself. That was man, W elevated, man. I hope you had you a good time though, for real, in that beach house. Salute to that boy Black Matt. Black Matt, like what we say, Black Matt. Salute to Black Matt in that bit. Hey, salute to my boy Vaughn in that bit. What is they talking about? Yeah, we came to talk about it. You know, you gave me that alley oop. I went to had to go research and oh, but I got to go live. Yeah, I watched like half of that video, half of what you told me. Oh yeah, I said I gotta go live. I ain't gonna cap. I said I gotta go live. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna cap to you. Man, salute to everybody in the building, man. For real, for real. What y'all got going on, man? You know we gotta get into it, man. Them boys, man, they overcooked them boy. I ain't gonna cap. We already knew that they was getting life, but I ain't know they was cooking them boys, just put them in the pot and recooking them like that. Put them in the pot and recooking them. Hey, salute the Vaughn for the alley oop because I didn't even know. I was all on TikTok over there scrolling and looking, you know. I ain't gonna cap to you. Bro gave me that alley oop. Shout out to Vaughn. I was going to see, then what? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just never mind what I said. Just never mind that, all right? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Straight up. Turn that bit up for me, man. We finna turn that bit up. You know, y'all know how we doing it. Y'all already know how we're doing it. I ain't even cracked the seal yet. I ain't even cracked the seal. I ain't cracked the seal. I'm still drinking water over there, bitch. I ain't cracked the seal yet. Stop it. Stop it. I'm gonna join on my other account real fast, okay? Man, I appreciate that elevate. Join it up then. That's what I'm talking about. Light that bit up then. What I'm talking about. Light that bit up for me then. Uh-huh. Light that bit up. It's savage. Even Rashad done chart. Even Rashad done chart that, bro. That's what I said, bro. I seen that. I had to, bro. Listen, that's why I had done stopped it at. That's why I had done stopped it at. I said, dang, my boy. So you feeling like that? So, but listen though, how he feeling, bro? At the same time, bro. You mad because she got 15 years and you got life? Yeah. That dude was mad. Yeah. I heard what he said. Yeah, I was listening. I was listening. Yeah, I was listening. I said, man, chill out, fam. I said, chill out. I said, show over. I had to stop it. I'm telling you, I had to stop the damn when I was watching. I stopped. I said, man, chill out. I gotta go live. I said, chill out, gang. I said, chill out. Don't count, gang. Don't count. But one thing about that prosecutor, hey, one thing about them goddamn prosecutor though, they ain't playing. Man, okay. He is snitch now, left man. That nigga like, man, that I couldn't believe that nigga had to say that. I couldn't believe he talking about, and then he gonna tell me, something. Yeah, you know my lawyer over there just shivering. You know my lawyer over there. Hey, what's up? Hey, appreciate that alligator for that the other count come through. What's up, Ripper? I don't even he said, all right, gang, say fine. What's up? Zipping on some zero. Okay, sipping on some okay, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, do your thing, my boy. Do your thing. You must from Texas, boy. 'Cause they say them people from Texas, they be on that screw for real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They say that them people from Texas, they really be on that screw for real. No cap. Yeah, yeah. I'm being honest with you. That's what they say. Now I ain't never been to Texas. I'm just telling what people from Texas that be saying that they be on that screw. That's where the screw started, right in Texas. The real screw. Yeah, we find out that you did it to screw, we're gonna do it to you. Yeah, yeah. That's what they say. That's what they say, gang. I'm just being honest. Let's get to it though, gang. Let's get into this though, gang. We gotta get into this live reaction with this Julio Foolio defendants, man. We gotta get into this. Y'all boys know that they overcooked y'all boys, gang. I'm just being real with you. They overcooked y'all boy, gang. Yeah, they overcooked y'all boy, gang. Let's get to it.
Law that he cited as authority in his motion as well, and Judge, those cases are clearly distinguishable by
they cooked
to
y'all
the
boy.
facts presently in front of the court. One of them was a corpus case. We literally have the defendant on video where he is seen actually wiping down the fingerprints. All of the rest of the cases went towards knowledge, intent that that physical act was actually done and proof of that. And Judge, there is circumstantial evidence in this case that is overwhelming. This is a case where
so she said now, Judge, huh? The evidence that we got is overwhelming. Ain't no way they still trying to act out it. Because remember now, they still trying to ask for an appeal and all of that. Let's go, though.
The homicide occurred was at a hotel, a public spot where 3 armed gunmen used high-powered assault rifles and a Glock with a switch that was automated to be able to fight.
Y'all boy had a switcheroo on that? Just so y'all boy ain't put the switcheroo on that bit, did it? Man, chill out.
Rapidly and unloaded in a public parking lot. And this was the victim in this case. There's ample evidence that they knew who they were targeting. They knew the high-profile nature of the victim. And so, Judge, the law requires for tampering that they knew or should have known that a investigation by law enforcement was going to occur. There is no argument that they can make based on the circumstantial nature, the manner in which they committed this crime, to suggest to this court that he did not know that a law enforcement investigation was about to be instituted, and the actions that were done with both of the vehicles that were used in this case clearly were removed from the state of Florida, and where they live in Jacksonville and where they'll be investigated, they were removed from that city. They were hidden. That car was hidden at his grandmother's house the day.
Yeah, you know you had y'all boy know y'all did what y'all did, gang. Come on, gang. They got y'all boy red-handed.
The homicide occurred.
Look all the evidence
he
repeating.
And he switched vehicles and switched cars.
And it's just a whole bunch of stupidness too. I'm just being honest. Everything she repeating is a bunch of stupidness because y'all did careless mistake. What you leaving the vehicle at your damn grandma's house for, gang? Man, this is crazy word.
That was contained within the suspect murder vehicle and put it into another vehicle, Judge. Based on the facts and the circumstances in this case, we believe that there is enough facts and evidence to support that he knew that a high-profile homicide investigation would occur. There was all the phone evidence from his phone that showed his activity immediately after this crime. So he certainly knew that they were successful in killing a high-profile rap artist. So based on that and the fact there is no corpus issue in this particular case, he literally is seen wiping it down on a video. So based on all of that evidence,
seen you wiping that bad boy down, and you wasn't giving a wax. She said she saw you wiping it down on video, and you wasn't giving it a wax. I'm just repeating what she said, but let's go.
we would ask that you deny the defendant's motion.
Okay, and do you have any further argument on any of the defendant's motions for new trial?
Your Honor, we would rely on all our previous written arguments as well as oral arguments that were made in pretrial motions and during the course of the trial. Any weight arguments or insufficient evidence we believe is without merit. The facts and evidence in this case were overwhelming. There was a mountain of case, not only circumstantial evidence, there was direct evidence of each and every one of the defendants' participation in this case, as well as the actual crime itself was caught on video. So we would rely on all of our prior...
They got y'all on video with everything, if you think about it. Video after video. God dang, bro.
Arguments written in...
Remember, these the same nigga that went to McDonald's to get a 4 for 4. Yeah. They went to Mickey D's and all, gang. They got them on all that. They got them at Mickey D's and all, gang.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I will deny Sean Gathwright's motion for judgment of acquittal as to count
Denied.
6 and deny all of the defendant's motions for new trial.
Yeah, she said she denied all the motions for a new trial. Wait, come on, what is y'all doing, gang? Come on, gang. Come on, gang. What is y'all? Leave the junk alone, gang. Leave it alone, man. Chill out.
All right. State, are you going to call any
hold up.
witnesses?
Well, y'all just wait. It gets better. Y'all just wait. It gets better. I ain't gonna cap. Y'all just wait. It gets better.
Want to speak before sentencing?
Judge, we did talk to our victim assistant advocate, and
Get
the
it like
victim's
so.
mother did not wish to address the court again. She did read a victim impact, I believe, for Alicia Andrews' trial, as well as there was a statement that was read to the jury. She is aware that the sentences of this case for the homicide
It gets better, y'all.
to be a life sentence. We also did contact the other victims in this case, and they did not wish to be present or heard. They are aware also.
Y'all wait till these boys get to speaking, man.
All right, and so let's just go through
I gotta break
each
this
of the
down.
defendants. Let's start with Mr. Chance. So on the first degree murder, it's mandatory life, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are there any minimum mandatories that apply?
Not with
Yeah, buddy
regards
over there.
to Isaiah Chance.
Okay, and then on the conspiracy.
Look at this nigga here. Look at this nigga in the back right here. Look at this nigga in the back. Look at this nigga in the back right here. Damn, I can't believe my old lady, my baby mama told on me. She did me like that. That nigga got Hold on, it gets better, gang. Hold up, gang. It gets better, man. I ain't gonna count to y'all. Just wait till this nigga here talk.
To commit first degree
Wait till
murder,
this
is
nigga
it
here
also
talk.
mandatory life?
Man.
Judge,
And the other,
that is-
and then the other nigga with the fro. Wait till the nigga with the fro talk. This nigga, I think he finna start writing books. Yeah, I think that nigga with the fro, I think he finna start writing books when you hear him talk. Hey, I said, dang, what they gotta do with the case? Nigga start saying the man ran down and yeah, you know what I'm talking about, nigga, like he finna start writing books or something. You might as well.
A life offense, and I do
Yeah, you
not
might
believe
well
that's
start
a
writing
mandatory
books, gang.
offense. And we have provided a score sheet on all of the defendants for the offenses that were not.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so it's up to life on the conspiracy, correct? And what is the state requesting?
Judge, we are asking for a life sentence, maximum sentences
Ooh,
on all of
they're asking-
the non-life
You hear? Ooh, you hear what they saying? They're asking for a maximum. A maximum. They're asking for the maximum. You gotta do your lip a certain way when you say that. Maximum. God
Concurrent or
damn.
consecutive?
Judge, we would ask for them to run concurrent.
Okay. Moving on to Sean Gathwright, as to the first degree premeditated murder,
Okay.
mandatory life, and are there any mid-mans that apply to him?
Judge, there are minimum mandatories that apply to him. There is a 25-year minimum mandatory for discharging, I'm sorry, 20 years, just discharging a firearm. We did not allege resulting in death.
Okay, so that would be on count one, and then on the conspiracy, you were also asking for life, correct?
Your Honor, for him, it's a first-degree felony because he did not have a gang enhancement. So for that, it would be for 30 years with regards to Sean Gathright for the conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
Okay, and then with regards to each of the attempted murders in the second degree, are there any min-mans that apply to those?
Judge, for the attempted second degrees, there are minimum mandatory for the firearm, again, enhancements, and again, those are 20-year minimum mandatories.
And the statutory max is what, and what are you asking for?
For the attempted second degree murders for Sean Gathright, those are first degree felonies, so we would be asking for 30 years Florida State prison on each one of those counts.
And then on the tampering, what are you asking for?
For 5 years Florida State prison.
God, but listen, bro, y'all niggas ain't gonna listen. Y'all niggas ain't gonna know. Listen, everything they reading off, bro. Yeah, it sound like y'all ain't gonna never. Well, I know for sure. Y'all ain't gonna never get out, bro. Never. Even if y'all listen, it sounds like y'all gotta die right, come back and do another life, then come back and do another life, then do like 20 or 30 years on top of that. Man, bro.
Murphy,
the charges on y'all is crazy, gang.
Mandatory life. Are there any min-mans that apply to him?
Could they hit him with gang shit and all, gang?
20-year minimum mandatory for a firearm enhancement.
All right.
Say lock the thug
and then
up.
you're asking for life on the
Look at
conspiracy.
Oh, so Buddy think it's funny. I think Buddy just don't give a F. Cause his mind just ain't stable, dang. I ain't gonna cap. His mind, I don't think his mind's stable. His mind ain't stable. Cause I just been noticing that the whole time he just been, I don't know, just been laughing and smiling like, yeah, he glad.
And then on the attempted murders in the second degree, are there also 20-year min-mans on those?
There are for him, yes.
And then you're asking for 30?
We're asking for a life sentence. He actually is raised to a life sentence because of his gang enhancement.
Okay.
Karmelo should have we ain't even made it to Karmelo yet, my boy. We gotta cook these bars real quick.
What she's saying is the jury found a gang enhancement, so it gets bumped up. Okay.
Hold up. Did she say what? Since it's gang affiliate, so they're trying to get that bumped up. Did she say something like that? Get it bumped up? That's what it sounded like to me. That's what it sounded like just meant then to me. I know I wasn't tripping.
It says second degree felony. What the clerk was asking me, it says second degree felony on the docket, but you're saying
what I'm saying, bro.
Gang membership.
I'm telling that nigga mind ain't right, bro. The way this nigga just sitting there, bro, and just taking everything in, just man.
That bumps him up to
I'm for real, bro.
Okay.
And the firearm enhancement.
I see.
Get the likes up if you're new to the channel. Hit that sub button for me. Turn me up.
All right, and you're asking for those to run concurrent?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then as to Rashad Murphy on count one, it's mandatory life, and is that also a 20-year min-man?
Oh man, chill out.
On the conspiracy.
Whole time, y'all know his face been like this the whole trial. Y'all remember before trial, during the trial, why we ain't looking, why he's in his cell late at night. Then he looks just like this all day, every day. No cap. I'm just being honest with you. Yeah. This nigga here, he been knew it was over. Yeah, he been accepted that it was over. He been accepted that, gang. I ain't gonna cap. I'm telling his face is like it's been like that the whole time. No cap. I don't know if he's seeing other stuff at night or I don't know. Like that's the look of like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, like, man, like he done seen, I don't know if he be seeing Foolio or what. It's just crazy, gang. I'm talking about, it's just crazy to see everybody else's face, how they face it was, but his face been the same way before trial, during the trial. I'm talking about, bro, this is crazy work here, gang. Stay out the streets, y'all. Let's stay out the streets. Let's not sign up for the streets, gang. Let's go. Get the lights up for me, gang, if you're new to the channel.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then, there are 20-year mid-mans on the attempted murder.
The whole time.
Counts.
Yes, from Mr. Rashad Murphy, there were jury findings.
This nigga, hold up.
And due to the gang
Is he just sitting there like that? I listen, y'all. I had to unpause the video. I had to unpause the video and thought the video was still paused, but I heard the people talking. This nigga was still sitting like that, gang. Oh my God. Oh man, this is crazy work, gang. I ain't gonna count to y'all, gang.
enhancements, is he also looking at life on those?
Man.
Yes. And that's what you're asking for?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Does anyone disagree that those are the maximum penalties?
Now he looks up now, but that whole time he was just in a whole trance. That's crazy, gang.
And minimum mandatories that apply for each of the defendants. Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. Anything else you'd like to say prior to sentencing?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, it gets
All
better.
right,
Oh, it gets
Mr.
better, gang.
Gonzalez,
Get the lights up.
anything else
Oh, it gets
you
better.
or your client would like to say prior to sentencing, or any other individuals that would like to speak?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Wise, anything further from your client or from anyone else?
Your Honor, Mr. Godfrey would like to address the board.
Sure.
His mother and grandmother.
Okay. Now this is
They would like to address the court as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
now what the grandma finna say. I kind of don't agree with, but let's just hear her out.
Whoever wants to speak first.
Let's let the mama speak first, then I'm gonna speak on what the grandma say. Po grandma, y'all don't put grandma through hell. And the mama done been there every step of the way though.
Podium, that's fine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Judge, for
Afternoon, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to address the court. I'd like to say that this everything has really opened and brought a lot of attention to a lot of things that are going on in the community and in the neighborhood of Jacksonville and also elsewhere.
Mr. Snarty, you're talking too loud. I can't hear Miss Lau.
Elsewhere in the country. We've received a lot of support and a lot of comments about people who've learned a lot about the
But that judge don't be
judicial
playing.
process throughout this, which I think is very, very important.
The
And
judge just look like
also,
she don't play.
has sparked
Have
a
y'all
lot of
seen this judge?
conversation
She look like she don't
in
play.
regards to parents communicating with their children and
You heard her hyper?
letting people realize that
I gotta
it
use
doesn't
that.
matter what your situation is. You never know what can happen in life and
I
where
thought she
you
was
can
down.
find yourself. And I think with this trial being televised and with a lot of
She was like a little good.
controversy and attention, it's really sparked a lot of conversation throughout the community.
All right,
and
gang,
brought
let's
a
get
lot of
serious. Let's
awareness.
get serious, gang.
And I hope that this will change a lot of things in people's lives and change their minds and opinions. And as a retired member of the military, I've always been one who has strictly believes
So
in
this
the
is
rule of
Sean
law,
Gaff, right, mama,
law.
right?
And I've learned a lot. All I can say is I've
This
learned
is
a lot,
Sean, mama. Y'all
and,
help me out in the
about how
chat.
process
Is this
goes.
the mama, right?
And
Cause this other lady's finna talk is the grandma, right?
Sure, Miss Lyle, and I just want to tell you, you've been a very devoted mother to your son. I can tell you've been here throughout the trial.
Yeah, she
And
been
he's
through
very
thick and
fortunate to have you
thin.
as his mother.
A mother gonna do that anyway.
And I know your heart is broken.
Regardless, you was
I know it is,
terrorizing the
it's your
streets,
child.
and she been there for
And
you.
I do have sympathy
That's a real mother.
for that and for you. I really do. I'm very sorry.
Y'all
for you and
remember
for your
now?
family that this
is y'all gotta remember. This is the nigga. I know y'all. Some of y'all know, and some of y'all probably don't know. But y'all remember, this is the nigga, the same one she's speaking on right now. It's the same one shot Foolio in the foot too now, before he was unalive.
where you find yourself.
Same one that said God is using him as a vessel. Same one. Let's go.
But your attitude and what you're taking away from it, I hope as well for the community's sake that there is some change, because this can't go on. This tragedy just cannot go on.
It cannot go on.
So I thank you for your comments.
You heard she said basically that judge telling you, don't matter what you said, this nigga still getting life. Yeah. No matter what you said, it's still everything still goes on. You heard she had said about old boy. Yeah. Straight up, she don't even care. She just letting y'all talk.
And Miss Gathright, do you want to say something? Come on up.
Oh yeah, okay, here it is. Here it is. He go grandma. Po grandma. Get the lights up.
I too want to thank you for allowing me to address the court. This tragic event occurred when Sean was barely 18 years old, and this is a time when the prefrontal cortex of the brain is not fully developed.
Oh,
His
man.
development doesn't
Man,
complete.
oh grandma, I know you ain't going there, grandma. Please don't tell me y'all trying to pull that. Please. Don't tell me trying to say his mind wasn't developed when this happened. When this occurred, my grandson's mind just wasn't developed. His mind just wasn't developed. Man, let's go.
Complete itself until they're at least 25. And this is the area of the brain that controls impulses, and risky behavior is part of the immature brain. They have a heightened drive for risky behavior.
No, grandma. I understand that's your grandson. You went on the internet and looked up some stuff and wrote it down. I understand that. But your grandson is a menace. He's a menace to society. Let's go.
Emotions and impulses are their first priority, and logic is the second one. And I know that Sean made a mistake, but I really believe that the punishment...
No, listen. Hitting Foolio the first time in the foot, that was his mistake. Now, that's what you call a mistake. But what they did to Foolio the second time, oh man, that wasn't a mistake, that game. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's too severe. Sean.
I know it's hard. Mrs. Gathright, it's hard.
Look at the judge. The judge don't make it no better. I know it's hard. The judge don't make it no better.
He can make an outstanding role model for younger people. He's a strong Christian, and he is liked by his peers as
Man,
well.
chill out. Ain't no way you just said he's a strong Christian. Man, chill out, gang. I understand that's your grandson, though. I understand.
As adults, this one event should not define the rest of his life. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
And Mr. Gathright, do you wish to say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, some of y'all can shut your ass up in my chat, too. Don't get me started, man. I'm going to chill, though.
Your Honor, I just
What that
thank you
nigga
once
said
again
on
for allowing me the opportunity.
the Gridiron Gang, shut your ass up, 88.
Just a little something. I worked kind of pretty thoughtfully on it, so I just ask that you allow your discretion for me to
Yeah, no, go ahead.
think.
As long as it's respectful.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Hold on, here you go. He finna start writing books, I think.
Here we are.
Well, listen to
being
the
sentenced
story
for
he
the murder
finna
of
come up
Charles
with.
Jones. On the day he was killed 2 years later. Now, some may say
No, this
is
the
just
day
a
before he was
coincidence,
killed. He was
but I
on the
believe that
live
nothing has been,
June
is, or
23rd.
ever
Today
will
is
be
June
left up to
22nd.
chance,
Shit
and
like
that
that.
everything in this world is predestined.
It's the day before.
And there are many biblical promises of that belief holding true. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before you were formed in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Jeremiah 29:11 says, "I know the plans I have for you, plans for good and not for disaster." And Romans 8:28 says, "We know all things work together for good to those who love God and are called to his purpose." And there are many more just like them. God has full sovereignty over our lives. He chooses our times of peace and prosperity, our times of joy and laughter. But he also chooses our traumas and our tribulations, not to punish and
Somebody
tear us
said, "Grandma
apart, but
wrote
to
that."
strengthen our character and our faith. Everyone wonders how and why I ended up in a situation like this, despite growing up with a loving family, nice home, multiple opportunities, and promising potential. Some act as if is it impossible or unheard of for someone like me to find themselves.
Hey, Tab, why would somebody listen? Why would you want to be known as a gangster? I'm just being honest. Why would you want to be known as a gangster? That's all I'm saying. Why would you want to be known as a you see what want to be known as a gangster get you? We looking at what get you want to be known as a gangster. This is what it get you. Never seeing the day of life again. It's niggas like you keeping the same mindset. Stop playing with me, gang.
Themselves in a situation like this. But in reality, it is much more common than we think. It has been happening long before today. There is a parable Jesus shared with the world called the prodigal son. A son who had the nice home, loving family, servants. He had his every need catered to. Yet he still chose to take his inheritance and venture off to a far country where he indulged in prodigal living. He soon ran out of money.
Is this nigga finna start writing a book or what?
And while that would have been enough signs for most to turn back, his eyes still hadn't opened, and he still hadn't come to his senses. Hungry and desperate, he found a job on a farm feeding pigs. And during these times, pigs and what they were fed were deemed as the filthiest, most impure, lowest of the low, and worst of the worst. But he was so hungry and so blind that the food he fed the pigs looked appetizing. That's when he finally came to his senses. He realized that even the servants back home had enough food to spare, yet here he is.
Man, what this got to do with anything? This nigga finna start writing a book, I'm
After
telling
this
you.
eye-opening experience, he decided to return home.
All type
He
of
was
novels.
ashamed and planned to go to his father to ask for forgiveness and to become one of his servants because he no longer felt worthy to be called his son. But when he returned, his father embraced him with love and compassion, dressed him in the finest clothes and jewels, and celebrated his son's return.
Man, chill out. Ain't no way the judge let this go
Exclaiming, "This son
on.
of mine was
I would
dead,
say,
has
sir.
come back to life. He was lost and is now found." It is not uncommon for good young men who come from good families to get lost in this
Man,
world.
chill out, gang.
But discontentment often leads these good young men astray. When scholars and historians look back on our times, I believe they will label us as the age of discontentment. And those of us who come from privileged upbringings are actually disadvantaged to the fight against it because of the high expectations, many opportunities and
Like I said,
options
it
we
took
grow
2
up
years to
with.
write it down.
We don't know what struggle looks like, or how hard our parents had to work to provide these opportunities for us. We don't know what we have until it's gone. And it often happens after we go through our own eye-opening experience. Never in history has there been a time like now where there's so much available and so easy to consume, but we still demand more. And it is clearly seen in my generation. Young men and women want to grow up faster to try to keep up with the influencers that are idolized. And this is in part due to us being so susceptible.
Man,
A study done by the National Institute of Mental Health provided
I done went to
evidence showing
sleep
that the
over
brain
here.
doesn't
I
reach
ain't
full
gonna cap.
maturity
My
until
bad.
26 to 27 years old for men,
I'm back.
about
With
8 or 9 years older than my time during the offense. But society knows this, and that's why laws set age requirements on certain activities, amenities, and substances as a way to protect adolescent adults. Yet those same laws don't extend to an adolescent adult when they are charged with crimes and allows them to be prosecuted to the fullest extent, regardless of their age. Your Honor, it is heartbreaking that an 18-year-old can't rent a car or a hotel or buy a home, but can be sentenced to death or life in prison without the possibility of parole. They can't purchase alcohol or tobacco, but can be sentenced to death or life in prison without the possibility of parole. They can't work certain jobs or even go on a cruise without a chaperone, but can be sentenced to death without life or life without prison, in prison without possibility of parole. And I'm a prime example of these circumstances. At 18 years old, with no prior convictions, I was charged, indicted, and had to face the death penalty.
So
My point is,
nobody
society views
don't care if you had a conviction before this. We don't care.
To participate or partake in these activities and
You made that mistake,
because
fam.
certain substances listed can negatively impact or stunt the growth of a developing brain, while other activities and amenities have restrictions due to the lack of impulse and behavioral control or lack of situational awareness at times with teens. It is very simple to understand that our brains have not developed enough. That we live in a society where someone under the age of 21
you know
can be
what?
sentenced to death
You might be
or life
right.
in prison without parole.
You might be right, old boy. What? Who said that? Frankie? Yeah, I remember you said that up in the chat. I mean, you did say something about his grandma. When you know what? His grandma might have did right there. 'Cause remember, she came up and said the same thing. Somebody's brain wasn't developed. So yeah, she might did write this letter for him. You right.
Leave no room for growth, rehabilitation, or redemption. We don't account for the fact that they weren't a fully developed adult, and their judgment and decision-making abilities weren't developed either. I believe it is cruel for someone under the age of 21 to be sentenced to life without parole or death before they're even old enough to be fully emancipated or to fully comprehend what consequences their actions carry. I say all this because I want to see change. Change for those whose fates were sealed long before they were born. Change for the prodigal sons and daughters who ventured off too far in the world and got lost. Change for those who haven't reached full maturity or unlocked their full potential as adults. Change for the ones who never had the option to go around, over,
Somebody's developed enough to do all that count.
or straight through their obstacles. In spite of my current circumstances,
Somebody said none of that
I still
BS.
trust in all those biblical promises. And I believe that I am exactly where God planned for me to be.
Man, they on his ass.
A plan he created long before I was born. It is also my belief that this chapter of my life will propel me to a much greater purpose than what we see here today. Because my journey has just begun.
Man,
Thank you, Mr. Gaffney.
crazy
All right,
work. Man.
Does Davion Murphy
Somebody-
wish to say anything or anyone on his behalf? He's indicating no. Okay.
Talking about how many a year did he get? Don't
Okay,
hey,
and Mr.
there's no
Peters
even
on
think
that,
about
but
the years
yes,
that he got.
yes,
He's
yes.
cooked. He's done. He'll never see the light of day. There's no even think about the
Oh, no.
years. How many years he got?
Moved on to Mr.
Yeah, they don't
Peters
even
behind
thinking
the
about
others.
that. There's not even thinking about no year or nothing. Yeah. Even if he be unalived or anything, he got to come back and do another
And
lifetime.
as
I'm
long
being
as
honest
it's
with you.
respectful,
That's how many charges they got. How long they in for? See, they gave him live, huh? Oh man, here he go. Oh yeah, this is my favorite part here. I ain't gonna count. Y'all know y'all watch a movie, y'all like, oh yeah, this my favorite part. Yeah, this gonna be my favorite part here. I think this is my favorite part. Watch this. Watch him. Watch him, gang. Watch Buddy here.
Sorry, I'm kind of nervous. Sorry.
it's all right.
Yeah, look how he came in. I'm kind of nervous, sorry. Get the lights up.
Sorry, Judge. What I did right, Sean kind of covered like how predominantly what I did right.
Okay.
And my lawyer just told me I couldn't talk about a lot of things, so
Well, you just need to be careful. If you start talking about the facts of the case, you could end up creating more evidence against you. So that's probably his concern. So I just want you to be aware of that. But even if you're repeating what Mr. Gathright said, you still have the right to say it. So I don't want you to feel that you can't talk just because Mr. Gathright already said it.
Okay. All right. I don't even have or know the right words to say that can rectify
Spit it
the
out.
intense severity of how I am situated currently, corresponding to my sentencing right now. I don't think anyone with a reasonable mind frame could adjust their conscience to the reality of something this absurd, especially being this young. This is harder than what I intended. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like our appearances here were more political based than solely on our 6th and 14th Amendment, which guarantees our right to a fair trial with an impartial jury for each defendant. Being that, I'm not gonna say I wanted to say something to you directly.
No, that's fine. And you're more than welcome to disagree with any way I may have ruled in the case. You just can't
Repeat the facts.
yeah.
That's not-
Yeah, you don't need to repeat the facts, but you just
Hold
can't
on,
be rude to me. That's all I'm
Hold on real
asking.
quick.
You can express
Hold on,
disagreement. I have thick skin and there'll be an appellate review of everything I did, but just don't be disrespectful because then I'm gonna have to tell you to sit down and it becomes a thing. So let's just not have a thing.
Yeah, let's not have a thing. She don't want to get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, she don't want. That judge ain't been playing with their ass since day one. I ain't
Unlike the
gonna
rest
cap
of my
to you.
co-defendants here, they all are charged with being the alleged shooters and have the same verdicts. However, me on the other hand, the one who was charged with me for playing the same alleged role as I, gets found not guilty for what I am charged with. Alicia's case didn't contradict the alleged shooters versus the state case. I don't even think it's possible it could have. However, it contradicts mine as being the only principle here. Because both of our jury's decisions contradict each other. The only nuance is I went to trial with 3 other people who have the same verdict as I, and she didn't. Alicia get found not guilty for my current charge.
Nigga.
It wasn't a coincidence. Basically,
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
was.
saying is,
Listen.
Alicia,
Listen,
the
listen,
state
gang.
alleged that we played. Oh, that's getting into like
Listen,
the
gang.
part of the case.
Well, that's okay
I'ma
if
say
I'm
this.
hearing you correctly.
I'm gonna say that, gang. Reason why she got 15 years, bro, is because she told on you, gang. She told it. She spilled the beans. She spilled the beans. That's why she ain't get. She spilled the bean, gang. That's why. Oh, well, you should be happy your baby mama ain't get life. You should be happy. She gonna be, nigga, it gonna be one day she'll be able to get out and raise y'all child. Nappy head boy. Man, you know what? Let's go, man.
You are taking issue with the fact that I don't know if she's your current or former girlfriend, but she went to trial. She was convicted of a manslaughter and got 15 years, and now you're here facing life. And that I would assume that seems unjust to you. Is that correct?
That's highly unjust.
Yeah, he talking about that's highly unjust. Nigga, you shouldn't even came up there and said no shit like that, nigga, about your baby mama, nigga. Yeah, I know she told on you, bro, but get what? You the man, gang. It's your fault. You took her with you. You should have never took her with you. That's your fault, gang. You should have never took that girl with you, gang. Who told you to take her with you? Man, you a nut. I'm being honest. You a nut, gang.
Lopez.
You don't take your girl on no hit. Man, stop playing with me, boy. Come on, gang. You was out of line for that. Then you had her riding in. She told us in her trial you had her riding in the back seat with another nigga. You put her. That was foul too. You let your old lady ride in the back seat beside another nigga. Oh man.
And she was saying that.
And they said you ain't even have enough money Then they said you ain't have enough money at McDonald's to pay for the food at Mickey D's. A fo? Man, come on, gang.
Justice has been served. Absolutely, if you see it from that perspective. But everything that's a perspective is based off perception. So if you say that's justice, okay, but when you look at, if you put me and Alicia up on like side by side, that's unjust. Like, it's injustice.
How
like,
that? How?
It doesn't make sense. Like, it's
Yeah, it do make
sense.
sense. It do make sense. You should have never, like I keep saying, you should have never brought that girl with you. You know she couldn't have down. You know she was gonna fold up under pressure. How I know? Because the judge told us that she told everything on you. You should have never brought her. No, Von, he couldn't even pay for the 10-piece nugget, gang. They said they had to split a meal. How we know? She told us in her trial that they had to split a meal. No cap.
My verdict, like, her jury made their decision. My jury our jury made their decision, but it contradicts, like, both of our verdicts. The only difference is, like, I went to trial with my co-defendants and she went to trial by herself.
So
I feel like
So you sound like a baby, gang. You sound like a whining baby, gang. So
I got guilt more so by association than like participation. That's all I really wanted to say, Judge. Sorry, because this is way more harder than
yeah, nigga. Yeah, nah, nigga. Nah, talking about it way more hard. You making it more hard, nigga. You should have never got up there and said none of that. You should have never brought the girl with you. You should have never brought her with you, gang. You brought that girl with you on that lick. That was your fault. You fucked up. Hey, what that nigga said? Hey, what he said and paid in full? No, you fucked up. What he said? I gave you that. I gave you that money. I gave you that to make some money. You forgetful mother. No, you fucked up. Straight up, gang. Get this nigga out of here, man.
Sure. And you probably know when Miss Andrews went to trial, she basically pinned it all on you.
What the judge just said? She basically pinned it all on you. That's what the judge just said.
You know, when as I sit with my lawyer, like, he's probably shivering over there because he don't know what I see out my mouth.
Man, chill out, gang.
Definitely.
Get the lights up, gang. Get me 30 lights, I mean.
A lot of people don't know, but before you go to trial, you try to be optimistic. But everything is done strategically. So how the lawyers optimize what they're going to say or what they're going to do, they do it with the client. You know, I'm not saying what she's saying was wrong or not wrong, or what he wanted her to say, or what she said, you know. But that's all.
What Martin said. Hey, what Martin said. I said, what's up? Man, sit your ass down. And then what he said, I ain't got time for Richard Roundtree over here.
So, to my city, man, it ain't worth it, boy. Like, it ain't worth it.
Man. Like, now you got a message for your city. You got a message now. Let's hear his message, y'all. Now he got a message for the city.
And Foolio being a rapper from our city, it ain't worth it. Like, my mouth getting dry, sorry. Like,
you said my mouth dry, sorry.
The beefing, the shooting, like, for what? Like, when you sitting in your cell alone, cold, lonely as hell in that bed.
Man, nigga.
Everybody leave.
Nigga, it was plenty prison videos on the internet. It was plenty interviews, like videos interviews, videos on the internet that you could have saw about prison. You had to go in there to find out that it was like that, nigga. Come on, man. You know what prison was, what the hell,
Like,
man.
nobody
Stop
here
it,
for
guy.
you. Like the ones that's your ride or die, your girlfriends, whoever you love, the only person there for you is your mother, and maybe like one friend, maybe.
I appreciate that flowing heart Star. Appreciate that,
I was
Star.
21 years old facing the death penalty. I never ever. My only interactions with law enforcement was traffic tickets. Wake
Man.
up next morning, I'm facing the death
Appreciate that
penalty.
gold coin, Star.
That's how quick life can change. It ain't worth it, bro. That's all. Though. And sorry if I was nervous. Sorry.
No, it's okay, Mr. Chance. And thank you for saying that.
Yes, ma'am.
Man, you ain't even have to come out here and say none of that. Mr. Crybaby.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. What would you like to say, Mr. Murphy?
First, I would like to say to God be the glory, and all the time, and people out of last say so.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm sorry.
You know, you may have to step up to the podium because
Yeah, you know his brain ain't right. You should, you know, you supposed to stood up there. If you see, you know his brain ain't right. You know his brain not. If you seen everybody else take their ass up there, why you just started to just stand up and they gonna hear your ass? You knew she gonna tell you to go to that podium. Stop playing, man. You know his brain ain't right, gang. His brain ain't been right. He don't care. One thing about this nigga here, he don't care. This nigga here don't care. I'm being honest. He don't care.
As I was saying, yeah, look different from up here.
Man, look at him. See, look at him talking about y'all look different from up here. That what? How they supposed to? Yeah.
To God be the glory all the time. And if ever had a last say so in our situation.
Appreciate that, breast. Appreciate that, breast,
As I
love.
said in my interrogation interview, I'll be judged for it and I'll forever retain my innocence.
Yeah. Nah. Also, your interrogation video, let's not forget. Y'all remember when this nigga right here in the interrogation video, when he did that, look. Remember he was doing all that? Yeah, let's not forget he did that interrogation video. He ain't mentioned that though, did it? Let's go though.
And I just want to say to the Gen Z generation, change your life and do something productive with your life.
Y'all got sad stories.
And this predicament, it ain't work. And like it was said before, this is not my first rodeo down this road, so it's looking like forever, but I forever keep a positive mind state.
He talking about, hold up, you said, I hope you didn't just say it's looking like forever. No, nigga, it's forever. Let's make it last forever. No, hold up. Let's go.
To God be the glory forever. And
appreciate that love stuff for the GGs, gang. Appreciate that, gang.
All right. Mr. Rashad Murphy, anything you want to say or at all? You don't have to. Just giving you the final chance.
I love everybody.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Who, Rashad? So Rashad said,
right.
You know he didn't want to say that. He just stepped up and said, "Oh, I just love everybody." Hey, we got to keep a check on him. I ain't gonna cap. We're gonna have to keep a check on him. I hope we don't find him with a sheet. I'm being honest. Y'all know what I mean by that. I hope we don't find this nigga with a sheet. No cap. I'm just being honest. We're gonna keep an eye on this nigga here, boy. No cap. Look at it.
So a couple things before I pass
Appreciate that 100.
First
Appreciate
of
that
all,
100
I want to
gift.
commend the lawyers
Love it.
again. I know I did it at the close of the trial, but this was a massive case.
Appreciate that other
I mean,
100,
it's by
love.
far the longest case, the most intricate case, the most difficult
Hey,
case
that judge right here
that
don't
I've
play.
ever handled in almost 24 years. And I know for you all as well, it had to have been
Get the likes up, gang. Give me
I
30
can't even
likes.
imagine the Herculean task of all the evidence and sorting through it. And you all always conducted yourselves with the utmost professionalism. And I just want to again express my gratitude for that, how seriously everyone took the case. I never ever have to worry about any of the lawyers before me ever not abiding by the rules of professional conduct. I never have to worry about you being disrespectful to me or to witnesses or to each other. I never have to worry about the attorneys misleading me on the law. And it's rare that that happens, but when it does, and it has happened recently, it does make me very grateful for lawyers that know what they're doing. And that practice,
I appreciate that, lovely Star, for dropping in. Make sure you hit that sub button for me.
Thank you all for that.
Appreciate
so
that
much.
gifts. Appreciate them gifts.
I also want to comment about law enforcement's work. I don't know if Detective Ramos is here. I don't see him here. That was one heck of a job. I mean, that was unbelievable. I mean, I've seen a lot of good homicide detectives testify over the years from TPD or HCSO. That was remarkable, and particularly in light of the fact that it was his first time as a lead detective. I mean, and he had an encyclopedic knowledge of this case. I mean, I'm talking about massive amounts of information that he could recall instantly. And not every law enforcement agency and not every homicide detective solves this case. Not everyone does. But he did. I mean, he was tenacious.
Lovely said she from Cali and she got that gas.
So
nah, y'all got that rigid down there. I heard Kelly got that now they're playing. Y'all got the good.
For the job that he did, because it was really, really good. He made the whole agency look good.
Hey, appreciate that heart,
I also
lovely.
want to comment, Detective Taylor Klein, also, who had the foresight and really cooperation amongst law enforcement in the state of Florida. It's really remarkable. I want to commend the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, the gang unit. I think it's a 12-member unit. And just based upon what I know anecdotally about the situation in Jacksonville, I don't know that it has improved, but a 12 gang unit just doing their best to deal with all of the gang violence in that
Hey, hit me on the back phone then,
a lot
Vaughn.
is asked of them.
Hit me on the back phone. Hook me up with a couple
Specifically,
peas
I
or
want to
something,
know
man.
Detective Nader and Detective Draback.
Shit kind of drying up
they
around
again,
that bit.
You know, worked
Nah, I'm just
tirelessly
playing.
on this case. They worked hand in glove with Detective Ramos. And again, Detective Draback having the wherewithal to know to go into the Walmart and pull the video. Like that's good old-fashioned detective work that really yielded results for the state of Florida. I also want to commend the cooperation with the
I saw
County
that.
Sheriff's Office.
Hey, hey Kevin, I did see that. I mean, I heard when she did say that. It said that the detective. Yeah, I did hear that part. I did hear that part right there. How the detective's gonna lead you along? You the judge. You supposed to already know the law. So I see what you're saying, Kevin. I did hear when the judge said that.
The Gwinnett County.
I see you paying
Police
attention, Kevin.
Department,
Shout out to Kevin.
And I believe
Shout out
it
to
was
everybody in
Putnam
here.
County that found that provided the
Even the
telephone
trolls.
for Darius Beals.
All the trolls too.
Clay County Sheriff's Office. I mean, it really is remarkable. And again, in not every state in the United States of America do you have agencies that work that well together with a common goal. So I mean, that part of it.
Yeah,
was
that
just
is
very,
crazy,
very,
Kevin. I see
very
what you were saying.
impressive. You know, I really don't know what to say about what's going on in Jacksonville. Again, and I don't know if it's getting better or not, but I was stunned. And when I was sitting there listening to the evidence and just the trail of dead
I see what you said. I heard when she said that, Kim.
young man after the next.
I heard when
just
she
cut
said
down
that.
in the prime of their lives. I mean, it's shocking.
I
It is
did hear when she
shocking.
said that now.
And I just can't believe that any community is
Hold
made
up.
aware of it.
Man,
and
hold
stand
up.
by and put up
Hold
with that.
up.
I mean, it's just
Why his mouth like, man, oh, my bad. Okay.
tragic.
He don't put it back now.
And, you know, Mr. Jones did not deserve to die for what he did.
No, he
what he
didn't.
drilled, the drug
But listen. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Julio ain't deserved, and the other side people ain't deserved. They be unalive. Nobody deserved to be unalive on both sides. So let's just say it like that, gang. Nobody deserved it. So we just ain't gonna just say Julio ain't deserved to be unalive. Nobody deserved to be unalive, gang. Nobody. I'm just say that, gang. Nobody. But it get crazy in that when you in that street war. I ain't gonna cap. It get crazy after bodies after bodies after bodies after bodies after bodies on both sides. Man, it get crazy, gang.
Videos he made, but goodness gracious, going and desecrating the gravesite of a murdered relative.
Talking about Foolio. She talking about Foolio. We went to that grave site, but both sides were going to grave sites, wasn't it? Wasn't both sides going to grave site, not just Foolio? I don't know. I might be tripping though.
Is you don't deserve to be killed for that, but you just increased your odds that it was going to happen, and that's the truth. That is the truth. So I'm not at all again stating that he deserved it, but it really
it kind of trying. It's kind of sound like the judge trying to say, you know what? He was going to grave sites and shit. I think he really did. He deserved. I'm not trying to say he deserved it though. I'm not trying to say he deserved it, but yeah, you know, he was going to grave sites and he just was a menace. This boy just was a menace, but no, I'm not trying to say he deserved it though. I'm not trying to say he deserved it though. Man, the judge hell, bro. I ain't gonna
it's
cap.
just shocking. It's shocking to me, and I do have great sympathy for the defendants. You all, for the most part, are young men. And some of you have children.
Ace did say that.
And now for what? For what? Now you're looking at life in prison. And what was it for? And I really appreciate Mr. Gathright and Mr. Chance really speaking to your community. Like these decisions
They should have been spoke to the community.
Unalterable changes that you can't come back from. There's no coming back from.
Look at Buddy. Look at how he looking.
Dead
it
or
don't side in.
incarcerated for life. And I feel like, you know, you gentlemen had much more to offer this world. You did, and you do. And so, in particular, you know, Mr. Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy, listen, there's no question you guys had a difficult childhood. There is no question. The hand that you were dealt from Jump Street was not the best. There is no question about that.
Look at him. Look
Again,
at Buddy.
it's not an excuse, but I do acknowledge it.
Look how he looking.
Mr. Chance and Mr. Gaffney.
I'm telling y'all, we're gonna have to keep it. We're gonna have to keep an eye on Buddy though.
Murphys, you all did have positive role models in your life. Mr. Chance, you had a dad that testified and appeared to be a good role model, and a stepfather that cared about you. And Mr. Gathright, you, as you acknowledged, you had so many opportunities that most people don't have.
What's up, Sharon?
I mean, you started off. You're.
Hey, this ain't. Hey, Sharon. This ain't your people right here, is it? Sharon, is this your people right here? I'm just asking. That's all. This your people? I'm just asking, Sharon.
You were pretty good. They were pretty darn good. Better than the average person. So it's particularly hard. I am heartbroken for you. I'm heartbroken for your family members. I'm heartbroken for your children.
No, I'm just asking, like, why you ain't talk to your cousin, fam?
I am.
You should have just
So
told
I do
that
have
nigga
great
that.
sympathy.
But you know what? You probably can't talk to a nigga like this. I ain't gonna cap. You probably can't talk to a nigga like this. This nigga here, he look like you can't talk to this nigga here. It's like whatever this nigga here go with, like whatever his mind just say, he just go with it. He don't even think. This nigga just go with it here. Yeah.
But you have been convicted, and it was a horrible crime that was committed, and there is a price to be paid, and there's just no way around that. I do find it remarkable, and I hope that you can maintain your positive outlook. Each of you still has a life of value. And going forward, the quality of the life that you have every day will come down to the choices you make. And so I hope that you
No. I thought that was
well.
Shit. I just asked the question though, bro.
You do have value.
Yeah, it was a
and
valid.
you
It was a
can't
yes or no. Mo was a cousin.
And you started today by
It just
speaking
was a question.
to the members of your community, particularly the younger men, that this is not the way to go. It's not. It's not. Because look, we have Charles Jones is dead and 4 people who will now spend life in prison.
Shit,
and
she
again,
should have talked to her damn cousin
what?
then.
For what?
She should have talked to that nigga.
Nothing.
She's gonna get mad at me.
Nothing. nothing.
See, that what I be talking about. People want to get mad at me.
Warfare, drill rap videos. I mean, it really is nothing. So one thing I found that was when I was listening to the testimony, I think when Robert Howard testified.
Oh, no. Everything
he
good.
testified
Okay.
that
My fault,
Jacksonville was
Sharon.
the new
Okay.
little
We good.
Chicago.
Okay.
And I almost fell out of my chair because I can't even imagine anyone in Jacksonville wanting that comparison. So I was curious.
She
I looked
said
it up and
not
it knows
fell
that
out
this
your
is
chair.
accurate, but apparently in
The
Chicago
judge said she
last
almost
year,
fell
there
out
were
of chair.
406 homicides. A quarter of that was gang related. That's about 104 people.
Oh, yeah.
Dead,
Rico's coming.
poof, gone.
Rico's
For
coming.
what?
Yeah, Rico's coming.
For what?
Be on the lookout for the Ricos. No, I'm just playing. I don't know if they're going to do a Rico or not, but they've been talking a whole lot of
I
gang
just want you all
stuff.
to know that, and I really
the
do
trial.
hope that at least in the community of Jacksonville that there are serious changes. I don't know why this scourge of gang violence has cropped up. I have no idea. I really am not familiar with Jacksonville. I don't know the whys, but I hope that the community does come together to end it, because Jacksonville just can't keep losing so many young men cut down in the prime of their lives. Can't do it. Continue doing it. So, okay. Anything further before I pronounce sentence?
No, Your Honor. Nothing on behalf of Rashad Murphy.
No, Your Honor, on behalf of David Murphy.
All right. So, Mr. Chance, I'm going to start first. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Count 1, sentence you to mandatory life without the possibility of parole. Count 2, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life to run concurrent with count 1.
Crazy work.
Mr. Gathright.
Dang, boy, I know you over there sweating bullets.
On count 1, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life without the possibility of parole. You also have a 20-year minimum mandatory sentence. On count 2, the conspiracy, I will sentence you to 30 years in prison to run concurrent.
Concurrent.
Count 3, attempted murder in the second degree, I will sentence you to 30 years Florida State Prison with a 20-year minimum mandatory sentence, again to run concurrent with all other counts. On count 4, attempted murder in the second degree, adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to 30 years prison with a 20-year minimum mandatory sentence, again to run concurrent with all other counts.
But you never getting
Count
out.
5,
You never
adjudicate
getting
you
out.
guilty, sentence you to 30 years Florida State Prison with a 20-year minimum mandatory sentence, again to run concurrent with all other counts. And on count 6, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 years Florida State Prison. Again, to run concurrent, and again, for you and Mr. Chance, giving you credit for all time served. As to Davion Murphy, Mr. Davion Murphy, I will adjudicate you guilty of first-degree premeditated murder, sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and you will have a 20-year minimum mandatory sentence as part of the life sentence. Count 2 on the conspiracy, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life to run concurrent. On the attempted murders, counts 3, 4, and 5, I will adjudicate you guilty of each of those, sentence you to life in prison with a 20-year minimum mandatory sentence on each, again to run concurrent with all of the other counts, and again giving you credit for all time served.
Over it.
And finally, Mr. Rashad Murphy,
Over it for you, brother.
Guilty of murder in the first degree, sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and you will also receive a 20-year minimum mandatory sentence. On count 2, conspiracy, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life in prison to run concurrent with count 1. On counts 3, 4, and 5, I will adjudicate you guilty on each of those, sentence you to life in prison. Each of those carries a 20-year minimum mandatory, again to run concurrent with all other counts, and giving you credit for all time served.
Shaking my head.
Anything further? I do wish you gentlemen the best.
Shaking my
I really
head.
do, to make the most of your lives going forward. And you do have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of this court. All right?
Nah,
Thank you all. We're concluded.
don't appeal it. Don't appeal it. Do not appeal it. Yeah, don't appeal it. Please don't appeal it, guys.
Even if you are not
Do not appeal it. Do not appeal it. Do not do that. Don't waste them people's time.
You could be
Don't waste them people's time like
large
that.
cash payment and not even
Hold
know
up, gang.
Even if you weren't driving, all you have to do is
Shut
click
up.
the link.
Yeah, do not appeal it. Don't do that. Don't waste them people's time like that, gang. Do not waste them people's time like that. Do not appeal it. Do not waste them people's time, gang. They're gonna be honest with you. Don't waste them people's time like that, gang. Did they take it to young age gonna put money in their book? Man, bro. Man, them boy there, bro. Them boy through. What that nigga said, say one more word and you're through. What are the ages? I gotta look it up right quick. Let me see how old them boy was. Let me see. Davion Murphy. I know them boys think they're pretty young. Let me see how old they are. Why they ain't showing oh, them boys is 27. They young. Davion Murphy. All right, we got Alyssa Andrews. She is 21. Davion and hold on, Sean Gathright, 18-year-old Sean Gathright. Sean Gathright was 18 at the time, but he probably a couple years older than that now. 21 years old, like. All them niggas were 18 and 21 at the time. Hold on. So them niggas 27, gang. Some of them niggas young and some of them niggas older, gang. Cousin Davion Rashard. So is them niggas, hey, is Davion Murphy and Rashard Murphy, are they cousins or brothers? Cause it's saying cousins on here. It's saying cousins on here, but in the interview he was like, "That's like my." I think in that interview he was like, "That's like my that's my cousin, but that's like my brother," or some junk like that. Yeah, it was something like that. He said. I remember that. But that's crazy. Where y'all niggas through and cook, gang. Yeah, y'all niggas through and cook, man. Oh, man. Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, y'all niggas cook, bro. Y'all niggas stay out the street, man. Carmelo Anthony. Now, I'm going to say this, gang, before we get into that Carmelo Anthony situation. Now, a lot of people said when they dropped the video, they couldn't see this and see that. I know I couldn't see nothing. I'm being honest with y'all. I couldn't see nothing, gang. I couldn't see nothing on the video that they dropped. All I seen was a little push and shoves. That was it. And I seen Karmelo. I seen he out the tent. He gone. He took off. Then I see something. Then somebody said something about, you see that? Somebody put something in the track. I don't know if that all true or whatever. But today, if some news dropped today, with the Carmelo Anthony situation. Let's get into it.
Shocking new body cam captures Anthony's first words about what he claims happened.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
But does the video tell a different story? We have the body cam, the surveillance, and the moments that turned track meet mayhem into a cold-blooded
W
murder.
was unknown.
We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. We have a lot to get to in this episode. Cody Thomas from Court TV, who is one of the few journalists in the courtroom for the entire trial, will be here in a moment to break down what we're looking at as we go through the surveillance video of the moment Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf, as well as some of the pictures that have now been made public. One of the challenges in covering this trial was no cameras were allowed. So we would hear about this surveillance video, which you're about to see, of the alleged confrontation between Anthony and Metcalf, and we would read the police documents that laid out what Anthony allegedly said to officers on that day. But now, after the verdicts, and now that Anthony is in prison for as long as 35 years, we are seeing the evidence that everyone inside the courtroom was able to see during this trial.
The alleged suspect.
I am. No, I'm not. Well, I know how it goes. I'm not alleged suspect. Okay.
That is body cam video of an officer arriving on scene after Carmelo Anthony had already been placed in handcuffs. And in that body cam, you can hear Anthony tell the officer that he is not alleged to have stabbed Austin Metcalf. He says he did it. We do have more body
But see,
cam
that's what I was saying earlier, gang.
But I want to begin.
He told us he did it.
911 call that came in from the track meet in
let's go
Frisco,
to
Texas in April of last year.
Frisco 911, what is the location of the emergency?
Hi, we're at Taekwondo Stadium. My friend just got stabbed.
Okay, do you know who stabbed
They're saying it's new video evidence, gang. This dropped like a couple hours ago.
But you need to send an ambulance right now.
I haven't saw this yet.
Give me a description of the person that stabbed him.
He was wearing a gray essential.
But I don't think, you know, I don't know.
He's still there. Yeah.
Okay.
His blue sweatpants on and gone.
Okay, what did he stab your friend with?
I don't know. My friend's bleeding everywhere.
Okay. Where was he stabbed at?
The chest.
Okay. And do you still see the person that stabbed him, or did he leave?
It was Austin. Austin stabbed him in the chest. I'm sorry, what did you say?
The person that stabbed him, is he still there? Do you still see him?
Coaches detained Carmelo until police arrived, and you hear in that call so much chaos and panic as people are tending to Austin Metcalf. Austin would die from a stab wound to the chest, and at trial, the medical examiner said there was no way that Austin could have survived an injury that severe. Now, this is a 911 call from a coach who is trying to save Austin's life.
We have Army veteran that's trying to keep compression on the wound.
Okay. Are you with him now?
He is laying here. He
How old
is
is he?
starting to go unconscious.
How old is he?
High school age, so maybe 15, 16, 17.
Okay. Is he awake?
No, he's going unconscious.
Okay. Is he breathing?
Not right now.
Breathing.
No, he's not.
He's not breathing at all?
No.
Okay. Where was he stabbed at?
In the chest.
Hold up.
There was a moment as
I
we go
did
through
see
these
that. She
911
might
calls
have put
where coaches
unalive.
thought that Austin started breathing.
She might have put unalive. She might have tried to put unalive, and they probably spell checked that
But the Army veteran
when she
who
was
was
trying to
tending to
type.
Austin, he was also a
That
coach,
was
he
funny
testified
that
at
day,
trial.
though.
He told jurors that he knew that Austin was gone. And I want you to listen just to the background of this call here as coaches are doing chest compressions on Austin Metcalf. Listen to the chaos.
Freaking out, and they were just trying to contain him.
Let me know when you're with you, okay? Let me know when you're with you. Let me know when you stop breathing, okay?
Come on, Austin. Come on, Austin. Come on, baby.
Okay, we got the suspect, okay? So you guys can focus on him, okay?
Okay, thank you. Come on.
I'm going to keep you with me, okay, until they're with you. Is he breathing still?
He's trying, yeah. We're doing compressions and giving him mouth to mouth.
Okay.
Austin died at that track. I want to show you now the body cam video of when officers detained Carmelo Anthony, and I want you to listen to what Carmelo says and how his tone changes as he perhaps realizes what he just did.
Hold on. And I'm protecting myself. If somebody is shooting the victim, they need to be over there.
Under a memorial tent.
Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me. Dispatch 443, I got these suspects. And they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. Sorry. Any weapons on you like that?
Get the lights up for me, gang. Is Carmelo guilty or innocent, gang? Y'all let me know in the chat. Do y'all think he didn't do it, like, far as him starting it? That's what I want to say. Even though he admitted, okay, I'm going to say this. Even though Carmelo Anthony admitted that he stabbed off, well, you know, he did what he did. But did he start it? Did he start with the twins? Or did the twins start with Carmelo Anthony? Y'all let me know, gang. Who started it? Cause the video they showed, guys, I just seen some pushing. That was it. I'm just being honest. I seen pushing. I seen Carmelo out of there. I ain't see too much what was going on. They were talking about somebody. They said somebody was in the headlock and had the screech in the leg lock and all this. And I ain't see none of that. I ain't see nobody no headlock and none of that shit. But let's go.
The alleged suspect in handcuffs right now, detained. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. There's going to be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there. This is the alleged suspect. Okay.
So he was invited by Eddie? Yeah. That's what I'm saying, bro. Eddie told him to come over there. Eddie, are you okay? Are you okay? Eddie, are you okay? Are you okay? Eddie, are you okay? Yeah, because then Eddie changed and said, oh, no. I didn't record him. Remember they said Eddie was recording, and now they can't find the footage, Eddie phone? Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Eddie, man. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Eddie.
A little personal there, okay? Just to make sure.
My purse right there.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
The victim's going to be underneath that tent over there, so I'll get medics. Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
What's happening right now?
That was Karmelo just did, gang. Said I told him not to. He put his hands on him. That was Karmelo just did. And also notice he said he. He didn't say they. Notice he said he and not they, gang. He didn't say they put their hands on me. He said he. So was he jumped or not? Let's go.
It's up to you.
That's fine. This is closer.
Okay. Let me do one more little check of you, okay? You don't mind for reaching your pockets, anything like that? You good?
You're just wearing the one pair of
No, man. I'm wearing some little under.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Kill, man.
What's your name, man?
Carmelo Anthony, Karmelo.
Okay. Have a seat here real quick, man. Watch your head. Let me check your hood here, buddy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, lean this way so you're not resting on your hands, okay? All right, see a little bit of blood on your hands there, okay? All right. So your first name is Carmelo?
Karmelo.
Let's see. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I don't know yet, man. Carmelo.
K-A-R.
K-A-R.
M-E-L-O.
M-E-L-O. Carmelo. What's your last name? A-N-T-H. O-N-Y. We're ready.
I'm in 12th grade.
10th grade? You go to Emerson?
No, sir.
Where do you go? Centennial. Okay.
I'm in 12th grade.
12th grade? Okay. North Centennial. All right. Sit tight for me real quick, bud. All right?
There is no up-close video of the stabbing of Austin Metcalf. There is only this angle of the confrontation. It is from a camera that was mounted on the top of the stadium where the meet took place, and the camera is pointed at the tent which belonged to Austin Metcalf's team. Karmelo's defense team argued at trial that Karmelo was invited under the tent, that he had a friend of his girlfriend who was on Austin Metcalf's team, and that friend had waved him over. Now, the state argued that Karmelo never should have been under an opposing team's tent and that he refused to leave when he was told to go, and that led to a confrontation and a shove that turned.
You can't see nothing in that video though,
Join us now
y'all.
to talk more
I ain't gonna lie,
about
you
the
can't
evidence
really
that
see
we're
that
all
in
now
that video.
seeing on the outside for the first time is Cody Thomas from Court TV, who is in the courtroom for the entire trial of Carmelo Anthony. So here's the surveillance video as like in you know, I don't know directly the words, but it's like you can't really take a lot away from it because like you see the moment, you see some sort of scuffling, perhaps the shove inside of the tent. But to your point, I mean, it is just, it's not a lot when it comes to maybe what people were hoping they were going to see when they see this. Like, what stands out to you now that we're all kind of watching what you're describing in the courtroom?
Yeah. If you remember what I described, Chris, I described it that same way. You can tell that it's very zoomed in. You know, it's over pixelated because, you know, the camera's coming from across the football field. But of course, everyone has highlighted the moment, you know, that everyone's, you know, dissected it, and you see what is, you know, assumed to be the shove. And you can see, again, the force of the shove. You see that it's a push. But other than that, you can't really, even in the courtroom, it was never specified because it was a big deal about who was standing, who was sitting, who was where, who was this and that. It was never really specified under the tent who was who. Of course, after the shove, you see immediately 2 to 3 seconds later, you see Carmelo, who is highlighted and spot shadowed, run, you know, to the 3 or 4
you can't see nothing in that video, though.
which is also where the knife was found. That's where the knife was found. You know,
No, you can't see nothing in that video.
You see him running away. But that's about the only, you know, distinguished individual we see in that video. But of course, what stands out is just the moment itself, because the minutes leading up to the moment are just, you know, people are just there. Just these humanoid figures under the tent. You see people walking by. There's not really much of a commotion happening outside of the shove. And even when you watch the moment of the shove, you don't really see too much going on outside of the shove itself. And then all of a sudden you see a bunch of dispersing and scattering because, you know, people are realizing, oh, somebody's been stabbed here. But again, the video had minimal things to take away outside of the moment itself.
Right, and I was surprised because I remember there was one witness near the end where the prosecution was able to kind of point them out and say, like, so this is where you were at that time. And it's like, I don't even know how they were able to do that because I feel like I'm just looking at pixels.
Yeah.
Little, you know, and you understand that there's a ton of people under the tent. You see the colors of Austin Metcalf's school. It's about 7 minutes, 59 seconds in, like the shove happens. I will say you can take away from this kind of the force of the shove, because it seems like, you know, Metcalf, you see him kind of shove, and then there's a reaction from Karmelo, and then we'll talk about like what he does after. But I think that was something. I mean, I look at this, and it wasn't, if you were someone who was, you know, on the side of the defense, it feels like it's a shove. I mean, that's what it is. It doesn't seem like it's this aggressive punch or something like that. And how do you remember that playing out in the courtroom, just that particular part and kind of the force and how it was described?
You know, there wasn't really much of a real reaction to it because another thing I take away from this, the moment of the video, Chris, is that, you know, the defense was saying, we've heard all through, you know, the social media and the interviews with Karmelo's parents that he was like more or less being jumped by a collection of students, you know, 3 to 4 students. The moment in the video doesn't really depict that in any specificity. Of course, again, very pixelated, very, you know, not as quality as we would have liked it to be, but you don't see that at all, you know, because that, to me, that would be a lot more commotion going on. But as far as in the courtroom, it was the video is shown, and it's kind of like you and I watching it here. It wasn't much of a, I was expecting cell phone video. All these teenagers have their phones out. You're going to see something really graphic, up close and personal, great quality, lots of yelling. And now we have this silent video that looks like it was filmed at a Quick Trip. So it was like people saw the moment, but there was no shot.
Hold up, gang. Hold on real quick. My bad.
It was just, here it is. And the prosecution even prefaced before they played it. Hey, you're not going to be able to see much here. This is why we have this forensic video analyst to kind of talk to us about how he identified who and, the other different angles of coming in the gates. And we saw Karmelo in a lighter colored hoodie and Austin in these colored shoes. Like, he walked through all that before you got to the moment because he had to, because if there was none of that, you wouldn't know who you were looking at, right? I mean, you could probably make an assumption based after the moment, whatever else, but everything leading up to that, you wouldn't know anything.
No, and even looking at the shove now, I just, as you're talking, I'm kind of like just on the final, like, kind of 5 seconds leading up to it, and then you see it, and it's like there's not really from who I can see as Austin Metcalf, it's like there's not a lot of separation between the two. It's not a shove where Karmelo almost like falls backwards even.
Yeah.
And like if Austin came over, it literally is like they're not separated at all. It seems like he had him the entire time. I do think, and there were some questions, I think Carmelo Anthony's parents brought it up, where it's like there's so much, it seems like some of the testimony perhaps varied when it comes to how strong the shove was, this and that. And like you do take away where it's like this was almost a year ago, more than a year ago, that all of this happened. And it's so bang, bang, where it's like to remember that moment over and over and over again. I mean, especially when there's not a lot of video, which is surprising because you would think since they were alleged to kind of have been going back and forth, nobody took out a camera phone, which seems to happen a lot. I was surprised, like just how quickly it happened and then the force itself. We do see as the video continues on, you can see Carmelo Anthony, he leaves the tent, he goes up the bleachers. And then I'm just playing it here, and he's kind of like running down the bleachers a little bit. You see someone kind of going after him and then running back to the tent, and then Carmelo runs his way from the bleachers where eventually it seems like he comes in contact with an adult, with a few people who are following him. How do you remember that part of the story being told and what we're looking at as we see him in this spot shadow kind of running from the bleachers out in the area where all of this took place?
So, you have the perspective of the prosecutor, the perspective of the defense attorney, then you have the perspective of
the whole thing is just crazy, bro. I'm being honest. Hold on, gang.
He's obviously saying he's done this heinous thing. He's conscious of what he's done, guilty. He's running away, trying to get away and be anywhere but there because, he's running and then he stops and he walks a little bit. So they were trying to go along with, we're just trying to blend in like nothing happened. That's where the prosecution was going. The witnesses, the student witnesses were kind of echoing the same thing, but
I just can't see that in that video, though.
Someone was running after him and they turned back around, but then you see 2 or 3 more going after him, continuing not to go after him. You don't see them, get in a physical altercation. More so you see them pointing out like, that's him, and that's what they were saying on the stand. And then the defense is saying, he ran away, he was scared of what he'd just done, but their whole, key point of the whole situation is that he had opportunity to run out of the stadium and really run away, but he stayed in the stadium, he ran to the track, found an adult, and stayed there. So trying to paint, his character as like, he realized what he'd done, but not in like a malicious way, if I should say. But the thing about it, like when you pointed that moment where he runs to an adult, that coach took the stand, as well as another coach who was in the vicinity, because there was this woman, this female coach, and both these coaches, all these coaches were from different schools. There was this female coach from some different high school. The name of the high school is lost upon me right now. But anyway, she was testifying that, she saw a lot of commotion going on, a lot of yelling over where the tent was, right? And then you see those students running out, and they're like, Mrs. So-and-so, it's him, he stabbed somebody, it's him. And she's like, what's going on? And then as they're saying that, Carmelo's walking past or jogging past, and then she looks to the adult, the coach that, finally embraces him and goes to walking with him around the track. She looks at him like, hey, they're saying he stabbed somebody, don't let him leave. That's when that coach kind of like puts his arm around him, not like in an aggressive way, just like, hey, so what are they saying you've done? What have you done? And that's when, as we were talking before a few weeks ago, how that coach is like, hey, what you done? Hey, he put his hands on me. I told him not to. Well, if that kid dies, your life changes here forever today. Carmelo's like, oh, he's not going to die. And the coach is like, okay, but if he does, and that's...
Get exclusive Mortal Kombat 2 wallpapers for PC with...
And that's when that coach said he started crying and everything like that. So you had those three different narratives from prosecutor, the student witnesses, and the defense attorney inside that courtroom, all kind of echoing the same action, but different sentiments, like as to reasonings as to why he was running.
Yeah, and it's like 1 minute after the stabbing takes place, it's like he's at the exit to the track, it seems, and then he turns around, and then he's talking with someone who I think is the adult, and it seems like people are just starting to understand like what happened over on the bleachers, but then he's like walking by himself, and then you see another coach come up. So it is something where, and that's what made this case, I think, really difficult.
You can see them boy running. You can see Carmelo, and you can see people running after him, but you can't.
Up close
on the other video they showed,
and we'll talk about the body cam video and what that shows.
You can't really see nothing through that.
Going through these images, because again, I hadn't seen them until
okay. So this is the knife he had. Okay.
Before. We had talked about Eddie, who is this teammate of Austin Metcalf. Was, you know, at the time when the state was questioning him, strong prosecution witness, you know, someone who was very close with Austin Metcalf. And if I remember correctly, he kind of backed off saying that he knew Carmelo Anthony at all. And like some points for the defense, if you want to say that, was that they were arguing that he was invited into the tent, Carmelo Anthony, because Eddie waved him over. And to prove that they had
see, man, that's what I'm talking about, Eddie, man. Bro, that's what I'm saying, Eddie, bro. You the one told that man to come over there, Eddie. Eddie, come here, Eddie. You the one waved them over there, man. I don't like you, Eddie. I'm being honest, Eddie. I'm being honest. I'm starting not to like Eddie. Because, nigga, you waved that man over there, and they asked you about the video. You talking about you ain't got, they say you had a video, you were recording a video. Now you don't know nothing about the video. This your friend, nigga. Supposed to be you. It was you. If it weren't for you, none of this would have happened. Man, bro, you lame for that, bro. I'm being honest.
It seems in that moment that he knew Carmelo Anthony through his girlfriend, and they had hung out before. I mean, there's a picture here of them playing Guitar Hero together,
man,
which was not something that I was anticipating.
Not guitar together. We playing guitar together.
Yeah, that was.
And you did me like that
because now
we played guitars together, gang.
Issue, right? He's on there, you know.
Man,
we heard about Eddie in the opening statement.
Nah, you lame, bro. You lame.
None of them see his friend Eddie, so everyone's awaiting this Eddie Parra kid there. Who's this? Why, you know, what does he have to say? And, you know, of course, the question is, if this is your boy, this is your friend,
right?
He's getting into an altercation under the tent.
Ain't it?
Why are you standing up?
And then that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I like the dude talking about that then. That's what I'm saying. He getting in the altercation. Where you was at, Eddie, when it was going down? You the one told him to come to the tent. You should have told Austin, hey, nah, bro. I told bro to come over here. What you talking about? What y'all boy talking about? I told bro to come over here. What y'all niggas talking about? That's what it supposed to been, Eddie. Nah, that messed up, gang. That's what it supposed to been. Hey, nah. I told Melo to come over here. He probably called him Melo or something. Hey, I told Melo to come over here. What y'all look, you know what I'm saying? But you know where to be found. Man, bump that. Bump that, Eddie. You wrong, gang. You wrong, gang. You wrong, Eddie.
We'll get out of here, whatever.
Nah, so Eddie wrong, gang. I'm being
circulating in my mind. So he gets up there and he's testifying for the state, which is already interesting enough to me because the defense made a big deal about him. I expected him to be a defense witness.
Right.
And then the state calls him.
Right.
And then he pretty much gets up there and says, like, yeah, I knew Carmelo, but we weren't close. I wouldn't say we were great friends.
Man, see, that's what I'm saying, man. Man, that's what I'm saying, gang. That's messed up, bro. For you to do that, you the one told me to come over here and tell me, oh no, I ain't really know him like that. Why did you tell him to come over there up under the tent? Why? I don't understand, gang. I'm just being honest, gang. Eddie, bro, you real a suspect to me. You a suspect because you started everything. Everybody saying Karmelo. Everybody looking at Karmelo and Austin who started. Guess who started this? Eddie. Eddie started all this, gang. Eddie. I'm blaming Eddie. I don't even care what nobody say. If he want to call Karmelo over there, that would have never happened. I don't care what nobody else say. Let's go.
Going along with his state's testimony, then the pictures you're talking about, the defense is like, oh, not good friends. Here's 10 pictures that pretty much show otherwise.
And we together. That what I say.
That
what I say. Y'all got pictures together. We playing guitar together. For you to do me like that, we playing guitar together, Eddie. That's why I keep saying, Eddie, oh, you okay? Oh, you okay? Eddie, oh, you okay? That's your new name from now on for me. Eddie, oh, you okay? That's your new name,
the picture
yeah.
They're making goofy faces. They're at Eddie's house for
First name, Eddie.
birthday. All this different
Oh,
stuff.
we had birthday parties and shit together? Oh, man. Oh, shit. Oh, we had birthday parties and everything together. Oh, man.
You know, we're not trying to assume anything, but is Eddie lying? You know.
No, yeah, we know he is. We know he is. Eddie lying about something.
The thing about it is, Chris, if Eddie's credibility is not good, does that affect the actual moment of what happened? Okay, Eddie, maybe, let's just, theoretically, Eddie's not telling the truth. He's just saying whatever he wants to say. Does that have a direct correlation to what happened with the stabbing? And that's, I mean, I guess that was for the jury to decide, and clearly they didn't think so, you know, one way or the other. I mean, they sent him away for 35 years. But that was still a big issue there when the defense said, hey, we have the receipts. I don't know what you're talking about up here, but you grew up with this girl. She's dating this guy. Here's pictures of you guys together. There's other witness testimony, states witnesses that say y'all were, you know, not like buddy, but like, yeah, he went over to Eddie and, you know, they kept saying dapped him up, just like, you know, a good handshake between the boys. Yeah. So you had testimony about you sitting next to Eddie, and one kid said he switched seats with Eddie and all that stuff. So it was a very confusing time with Eddie's time on the stand, because you heard all these differing things, and then the challenge by the defense there. So it was like,
Eddie,
what's Eddie's?
If you was up under that tent with Karmelo, that's wrong. You let that go down like that. They're saying seats with you up under the tent. Oh, you was up under, that mean you was up under the tent with Karmelo, gang. And you let it go down like that and saying that you, I wasn't around. You trying to say you weren't around because it was unalive and happened, so you don't want nothing to do with it. That's your friend, dog. You don't want nothing to do with it because of unalive that happened. I bet if just somebody was fighting or anything, you would say, oh yeah, I was right there with my boy. I was right there with Melo, boy. I was right there with him. I was right there with Melo, boy. I was right there with him. Man. What's up, Gaming? W, my boy, Gaming.
What's the truth here?
Appreciate that, Gaming, with the gifts, gang.
When you look at these pictures, you're like, these people would be not just like friendly,
W
but it
Gaming,
seems
man,
like they
with the
hung
gifts,
out.
man.
Like the girlfriend's not even in these pictures, and like they're hanging out. You do wonder, and apparently for the jury, they felt this way. It's like, okay, so even if he was invited under the tent, whether he shouldn't have been in the tent or should have been in the tent, like the jury apparently didn't really think that really mattered, where the defense seemed to argue like, look, Carmelo Anthony was invited into this tent, whether or not like track culture or anything like that matters. And then he's, you know, the defense would argue he was the victim. Austin provoked it. Austin shouldn't have put his hands on Carmelo Anthony and all of this. Of course, when you respond with force using a knife, you know, that's something where you just wonder, you know, how strong of, you know, this gotcha moment on this witness actually mattered at the end of the day. Speaking of the knife, we have seen it now for the first time. And I'll say, like, this isn't, you know, it's a pocket knife, but it's not like a Swiss Army knife that you would use. I know we talked about like, oh, maybe he likes going camping, and they could argue that. I mean, this is I'm not a knife owner myself of something like this.
About it, but
right, this is not like a
You
Boy
said
Scout
Morgan?
Swiss Army knife that
That's
you would
crazy
have on a
about
keychain
Morgan.
back in the day. And I just wonder how much, when this was shown to the jury, does that, because it comes off as an intimidating knife.
That's
you know,
crazy.
And so we didn't see the knife used in the act. We saw an exact replica. Like, so the evidence knife, I guess they have that wherever they have it at, stored at the police station or wherever. But we saw an exact replica of it, and, you know, they were doing demonstrations. And so they saw a picture of the knife used, obviously, and you saw the body cam of the police saying, hey, there's still blood and bone fragments on this knife, you know, when they saw it in the bleachers. Because, you know, there was that rumor around that it was a cleat tool that he stabbed him with. And so that was swiftly debunked inside the courtroom. No, this knife is on body cam. Here it is on pictures with blood still kind of on it. Anyway, when they brought the replica knife up, got brought up during an officer's testimony. And so the prosecutor and the officer got in front of the jury box, right in front of the jury, you know, feet away. They could reach out and touch them, just showing the knife how you can, you know, thumb stopper, you can flip it up with one hand if you wanted to, because that was another thing about the speed at which this stabbing happened. You know, some kids said they turned away, they looked back, and now Austin's on the ground with a hole in his chest. It was just so fast. But one thing that I took away from that testimony from this officer is when they were doing the demonstration, it kind of, if you weren't listening, you might not have caught it, right? The prosecutor asked them, oh yeah, heavy duty knife? Yes, sir. This is the kind you kind of carry when you're on duty. Oh yeah, we use this for cutting seat belts and things like that. It was just a real quick moment. It wasn't like a real emphasized moment, but I was like, maybe he was asking that to show like, this is a sharp knife. I mean, you know how thick a seatbelt can be when you're cutting people out of car crashes and things like that. And, you know, I'm pretty sure the point was to show like, hey, but, you know, on-duty officers carry knives like this. This might not be the most casual knife. Now, again, clearly you can buy this knife probably in your local Walmart or anything like that. It's not like you have to go on and be, you know, a Marine veteran to get this knife, but just showing that it's not, like, to your point, not some little Boy Scout knife, you know, the little red cylinder with the little flip out and maybe have some scissors and a corkscrew in there. You know, this was a real knife here.
Well, and it kind of goes to one of the
So
questions.
he said it wasn't no Boy Scout knife. This was a real deal knife.
Because it's like, this is not an illegal knife we've learned to have in Texas. It's against school policy, but it's not illegal with the length of which, you know, how long it is for him to have it. But when you look at it, the question that comes to your mind is, why would you bring this to a track meet? And
man, I've been screaming this the whole time. I don't know nobody. I know y'all. Some of y'all ain't been over here, but I've been saying that the whole time. I wonder what made Melo just bring, you know what I'm saying, a knife like this to the track meet. That's all. I had been saying this the whole time. That's so crazy. But here we go. I sure been saying that.
It's not something where, like, look, he wasn't charged with any weapons offenses, but it just didn't seem like that was really answered. And like, if you know, just to kind of do that, if I was in the jury, like when you look at a knife like this, you're like, why would you bring that to a track meet beyond the fact that that question was already being asked in the first place? And the other part too, wasn't it argued that he already had this open in his backpack? What was that? I'm trying to remember.
That was it wasn't, you know, specified because no one really knows. But to the point I was making just a second ago, the speed at which the stab happened. They were pretty much saying, some of these student witnesses and the prosecution, of course, was compounding upon it, was that, you know, the whole touch me and see what happens. His hand's in the bag for, you know, however many seconds it was in the bag before everything went down. They're trying to say that put his hand on the knife, opened it while it was in the bag. So once whatever he felt was going to happen, the knife was ready to go, right? That wasn't, you know, proven, you know, as a fact, obviously. You know, the defense was saying, oh, it was just a warning and this and that. But the speed at which people were saying this happened, like in the blink of an eye, they didn't even realize, like even the people who were watching what happened, you know, Austin shoves, whatever happens in 2 seconds, they did not realize Austin was stabbed until he lifted his shirt and blood's everywhere. So that was the whole argument there. Like this knife had to have been opened when it was in the bag. And that was the point of when they were doing the demonstration with the cop, showing, you know, because he's holding the bag with one hand in the bag, that you could flip it open with one hand, like with ease. You know, you didn't have to take two hands to open it up and then, you know, assume whatever position you're going to assume with it. So that was the whole discussion about that. But again, there was no definitive evidence saying, hey, this knife was open.
And then just lastly, the body cam video. And you know, we see the video that's been released, the body cam. You have the officer who was the first one to interact with Carmelo Anthony. And then there's another 17-second clip that shows the moment, infamous moment, if you will, that, you know, was definitely shocking to read in police documents when he says, I'm not alleged, I did it, something along those lines. And you hear him say that for the first time. It was surprising, I don't know, shocking. I mean, you think of the emotional moment, the coach who said, well, if he dies, you know, you're going to change your life forever. And it's like, there's moments where Carmelo Anthony is so calm to the point where he can say, it's not just I'm not alleged. He says, hey, I know how this goes. I'm not alleged. I did it. But then as he get cuffs, there's like this shot of emotion and you hear him in this like kind of weeping voice. But then like within 15 seconds, he's saying his name very calmly to the police. It was just
crazy work, though.
You know,
crazy
again,
work,
probably in shock with
crazy
realizing what was happening in that moment.
Crazy
but it was just it's just I don't know.
cap.
What was your reaction when you saw that for the first time and just emotionally how he was?
I don't know if y'all smoke, but
yeah,
like they gas up.
It was kind of a stark dichotomy, Chris, because, you know, he's been painted out to be by the prosecution, you know, this murderer, right? You know, this kid who had a knife here. He intended to do these things. You know, he went over provoking a fight to use this knife. And so when they played this body cam, and we'd heard about the I'm not alleged, I did it thing, you know, but when I heard the crying part, you know, when his voice is shaking and he clearly sounds like he's emotional. When I heard that, I was like, oh, you know, maybe there is, you know, this more shit. He's made the worst mistake you could possibly make on this green earth. But at the same time, it's like it was a weird like sensation because you've heard all this other stuff, and then it's like, wait, you know, he has a little bit of emotion about it. But to your point again, 15 seconds later, he's like, oh yeah, my name's this. He's spelling his name out. I go to Centennial High School. Everything's fine and whatever. So it was like, of course, people process things differently, right? I mean, you just stabbed somebody. Unbeknownst to him at the time, he didn't know it was to death, but you just stabbed somebody at 17 years old. So I imagine the mental gymnastics going on with that. But hearing that cry was I don't know if shocking is the right word, but I didn't expect it. And you know, the court, I'm looking around when hearing that, the jury's kind of looking at each other, and you know, because you hadn't heard anything about that, and the fact that he's sitting there, he was kind of emotionless throughout the entire trial, of course, till the verdict came down. But hearing that emotion, but then, you know, the prosecution harped on, was it, you know, performative in the moment? Because a few seconds later, you know, everything's fine. Not fine, but, you know, everything's mellow, everything's calm, given the circumstances. So, again, just a stark contrast here when you heard that, and then a few seconds later, yeah, I'm not alleged I did it. You know, everything's cool. It's my age. I go to this school. Blah blah blah. Just a weird difference there.
It is, yeah. That's a good way to describe it, because it was just, you know, as you watch all this, you're also realizing like this is Austin Metcalf's final moments, and this is Carmelo Anthony as a free person. And I know he was out on bond, but now 35 years. If he serves the full sentence, he'll be out in his mid-50s. And just to kind of see all of it now and put it together, it's just, you know, it was a lot to take in. Cody Thomas from Court TV, great job covering this trial. Thank you as always for joining us. We appreciate it.
Always, man, happy to do it.
Carmelo Anthony has filed a notice that he plans to appeal his murder conviction.
He say he gonna appeal it. That boy say he's gonna appeal that. He said he will be appealing his case. Carmelo Anthony say he will be appealing his case. Y'all be on the lookout for that. Yeah, he say he still gonna appeal it. Sean Gaff right there. They just got sentenced. They just got cooked. Yeah, Davion Murphy, Sean Gaff right, all of them. They just got cooked. Old boy wondering, damn, why my old lady ain't get life? He just wondering. Everybody just running around doing appeal. They want appeals. Everybody want appeals. Think about it. Foolio case. The suspects, they want to appeal on the case. Carmelo Anthony, they want to appeal. Everybody running around wanting to appeal. This is crazy work. But I tell y'all, the Carmelo Anthony case, I blame Eddie. Foolio trial, I blame themselves. Yeah, y'all was in the game war. You can't blame nobody on that. Yeah, you just blame yourself for playing a part of that. I'm being honest, gang. This is crazy work here. Crazy work. Hey, gang, we're gonna cover some more news later on though. I gotta get up out here. I gotta go to work. Yeah, salute y'all. W everybody that came through and holler at your boy Savage. This is crazy work though. Crazy work. Salute y'all. I'm gone. See y'all on the next live.